Well, it's nearly the end of August 2024. The A35 rally car hasn't been touched for a good few weeks with holidays and other jobs to get completed. But now it's time to get back onto it in earnest and get all this suspension fitted onto the car and get it on its wheels. So I'm quite looking forward to this bit. I've done most of the preparation on the suspension parts. So we've got all this lot here to put together on the car. Back axle, rear springs, bushes already in the rear springs. I've got the diff rebuilt. We've got some uprated half shafts going in it. So gonna crack on with it now and start getting it all together, so now I can get some real progress. Well, just putting the back end together first of all. Put the new springs on, which are our fast road, actually same as we use on the race cars. They're lower and softer than the standard ones. So I've used the original rear shackles again, because the modern brand new ones, I don't like them because they're not actually locked together. They all move independent to each other. So I've got the original ones because there was nothing wrong with them. Got the new springs. I'm going to pop the axle in there, and I do it as a bare casing because when you're working on your own, it's obviously a lot easier to work with it when it hasn't got the diff in it. It's going to want to pull itself out of alignment. So I'm just lining that up with the pip on the dowel hole in the axle there. The other side's gone on, so I need to do a little bit of manoeuvring with it. But yeah, get the springs on, get the back axle in, and then move on to the front end of the car, which just another job really. But we'll come back in a minute and see how we're getting on with fitting the diff and the telescopic rear shocks back on it. Well, I've got the axle all clamped in place now. It had some modified plates on the bottom of it to accept the shock absorbers, because it's got these Coney adjustable shocks. Now Coneys are like the old-fashioned ones where you have to push them down, and it's like putting a screwdriver in a slot to adjust them. Normally they've got about 2.5 turns from, this is minimum at the moment, to maximum. So I've decided I'm going to set this about 3/4 of 1 turn, because it's a fairly light car. So you push it down, you turn it, right, now it's gone into the slot. So now I'm going to give it 1/2, 3/4. Yeah, so that's now adjusted. To readjust it, you do have to take them off the car, but not really the end of the world. It's only 2 nuts. I've got a feeling that it's going to be pretty good as it is. So that's the Coney on this side. I'll go and do the same on the other side. Bolt them on tight. Get the differential in there, get the back plates on here for the midget brakes, and carry on. So yeah, it's all progressing very nicely. So these are the rear hubs off of the A35 that we're working on at the moment, and you can see by the amount of oil and grease on the back of them that oil seal inside there probably isn't doing an oil seal job. Also the bearings we'd want to change anyway, and while we're at it, can completely strip that rear hub down. We're going to put new studs in it because when we use the competition half shaft or uprated half shaft like this, the flange on here is a good 2 to 3 mil thicker than that of a standard car. standard half shaft, so you're going to lose a bit of length on that. Plus, if we are going to be putting alloy wheels on it, which is quite possible that we will be, we're going to be using these studs, which in English are about a 1/4 to 1/2 inch longer than the original ones, which is just enough so it gives us an extra little bit of length for the alloy wheel, and also a bit extra for the half shaft thickness. Changing the studs is pretty straightforward. You just smack them out with a hammer in the vise, bang the new ones in, but before you do that, change the bearings. That's what I do. And so that's what's going to happen next. Clean them up, new studs, new bearings, ready to go back on the car. It's always nice to get the brake shoes on before the rear hubs. Makes life a lot easier and simpler. So we've got them on both sides. Get the hubs built up tomorrow, get the shafts in, handbrake connected, and yeah, move on to the hydraulic section of it, connecting all that up a little bit later. But no, that's all nice. It's good.